With the sun shining on the champions of the future shifters for round 2 at the Franciacorta circuit in Italy, it was for the KZ2 Masters a very dramatic day on the first day of racing, which saw Angelo Lombardo take pole position in time qualifying.
È stata una buona qualifica, ringraziamo Maranello, Viti, tutti coloro che sono qua, piano piano stiamo arrivando.
And he would continue that trend going into the first of the qualifying heats on Thursday, with him taking the win in Heat 1 and Anthony Abbasse in Heat 2. The second day of racing on Friday, and the main bulk of the qualifying heats in the first row of the day would see Anthony Abbasse on the top spot, Riccardo Nalon and Andrea Spagni locking out the top 3, with Kristijan Habulin and Julien Guernon who would round out the top 5. Rasmus Haugaard was one of the biggest movers in the race, gaining 7 places up into P6. The second of those races again saw Angelo Lombardo back on the top. The common trendsetter between Abbasse and Lombardo, as those two jostled for places all the way throughout. Daniel Bray, Davide Fore and Manuel Cozzaglio would round out the top 4 in that 4th heat of the weekend. Heat 5 and the penultimate race would see once again Angelo Lombardo battle with Anthony Abbasse. This was the important race for them, which did see Lombardo take that win ahead of Davide Fore, Abbasse finishing 3rd ahead of Medeghini and Guernon, who would round out the top 5. And the last race of the day saw Alessio La Martina take an incredible win, the Italian for the Kart Republic Motorsport team, taking the win by only 0.3 of a second ahead of Cozzaglio, Nalon, Spagni and Daniel Bray, who would lock out the top 5. Meaning going in to the super heats tomorrow, it would be Angelo Lombardo and Anthony Abbasse both on pole position, both of them fighting for that last spot, but Lombardo claiming the outright pole position. Riccardo Nalon joining him alongside Davide Fore would join Anthony Abbasse on the front rows for the super heats and ahead of the finals on Saturday.
Un bel weekend, almeno finora. 3 su 3 era il massimo e stiamo continuando a spingere e dare ancora il massimo per rimanere concentrati per domani.
After a very busy day of racing on Friday, Saturday for the KZ2 Masters saw another developing story, but once again Angelo Lombardo would come away with that Super Heat 1 win ahead of Daniel Bray and Riccardo Nalon. Medeghini would have a good race as well. Up 6 places, he would jump into the top 4 with Kavina locking out the top 5 after gaining 10 places in that first super heat. The second of the super heats, though, saw Davide Fore finally find himself on the front-running positions. He would beat Anthony Abbasse in a very dramatic jostle at the end, seeing him 1.3 seconds further down the road. Alessio La Martina held on to 3rd ahead of Kristijan Habulin and Rasmus Haugaard. As the field went into the final, it would still be Lombardo starting on the front, with Anthony Abbasse starting alongside Davide Fore, and Riccardo Nalon will be locking out the front 2 rows as the field went into their final.
Away we go for the final here, and what a start for Anthony Abbasse! Straight into the lead of this race, magnificent start from the Frenchman. He will lead down to turn 5.
Watch Anthony Abbasse, the right-hand side, lightning start, looks at his opponent, looks at his mechanic, yeah! Look at that start. Drama in the background, though. That's a nose cone that's come off. I think that might be from Victor Jimenez.
Now this is what happened to the likes of Jimenez, Villamil, Belisario. This is all in the middle of the pack. Oh, there's a big hit for Jimenez. Oh, and there's going to be a second touch as well into the barriers. It was a good scrap as well between Haugaard as Lombardo goes down the inside. Wow. Lombardo takes the race lead away from Abbasse.
He is looking down the inside, and so is Davide Fore. A little bit of contact between the two of them. They continue to go wheel to wheel, but Daniel Bray holds on to it. Riccardo Nalon goes through as well. Davide Fore, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Won at Valdebrata in the FIA European Championships last year. As here goes Fore back down the inside for the response. They touch, out wide goes Nalon. Up to 4th place goes Fore. In comes Cozzaglio as well. Daniel Bray's got to find a way through. That's more like it. No, it's not. The touch through turn 2. Abbasse holds on to 2nd place, but again, Bray not quite able to get the job done. Quicker than Lombardo, really it needs to be 2 tenths. Here goes Fore down the inside, that could be a critical move That could be a big one for Davide Fore. He's cleared through past Daniel Bray.
They are all there as well, trying to close in as here we go, Cozzaglio under braking. Daniel Bray's outbraked himself massively. Bray goes backwards, loses 2 places. Daniel Bray is down to P6 now.
For him to catch up to Lombardo, this is going to be a fight for second place here today, and it's on, and he's through. Davide Fore through into second place. That was through turn 5.
For the Italian now behind the Frenchman. Cozzaglio hits him. And Anthony Abbasse and Cozzaglio are off. Riccardo Nalon gets up into 3rd place, but we said about the cork in the bottle, the pressure was building, and there it popped. And is that Daryl Henderson, the driver from the UK, out of the race? That Intrepid kart going no further. Into this final hairpin. But no one's close enough to this man here. Angelo Lombardo, it's an Italian here in Italy, wins the Champions of the Future KZ2 Masters final in fine form. Cleared by 2 seconds ahead of Davide Fore and Riccardo Nalon, making it an all-Italian podium here in Franciacorta. What can you say about the Italians? 1, 2, 3 here in Franciacorta in the KZ2 Masters class that sees Angelo Lombardo, Davide Fore and Riccardo Nalon take the 1, 2, 3 spots.
Abbiamo fatto un bel weekend, abbiamo vinto tutto quello che c'era da vincere. Rimaniamo ora concentrati per la prossima settimana, che è quella più importante.
All-out fight all the way to the end, which saw unfortunate results for Anthony Abbasse, unfortunately finishing that race down in P10 from the front row. But the field of KZ2 Masters is done once more for 2026 as the championship falls asleep and comes back alive as the field heads in to 2026.